You're watching this video right now because there's a voice bothering you. It's a voice about a task you know you need to do, but every time you think about it, your brain comes up with 1,000 excuses to do anything else. If you give me just the length of this video, I'll teach you how to destroy procrastination forever, transforming that feeling of paralysis into pure action. I know exactly what that feeling is like. You think you're weak, but you're about to discover that procrastination isn't about willpower. It's about a system in your brain that's been miscalibrated. If you give me your full attention right now, I guarantee you'll leave here with a new relationship to the difficult tasks in your life, knowing how to change these patterns for good. Let me start by destroying the biggest lie you tell yourself. I procrastinate because I'm lazy. Lie. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's more like a fear in disguise. Let me explain what's really happening in your brain when you avoid an important task. There's a region inside your brain called the amygdala, which was programmed by millions of years of evolution to detect threats and keep you safe. The problem is it can't distinguish between a hungry lion and a deadline you need to meet at work. To your amygdala, both represent danger. When you think about that presentation you need to prepare, that project that's overdue, or that difficult conversation you need to have, this region screams, "Danger! Run!" And your beloved prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, obeys. It starts creating elaborate excuses. I don't have time for this. I need to do more research first. I'll do it when I'm more inspired. But here's what no one tells you. These aren't rational thoughts. They're rationalizations created to justify what your amygdala has already decided. To run. Your primitive brain has one mission: to keep you alive. And to it, anything uncertain, uncomfortable, or that could cause pain is interpreted as a threat. So, it activates your flight system. When you avoid starting that project, it's not because you don't want success. It's because a primitive part of your brain is whispering, "What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? Better not to even try." Procrastination is a malfunctioning defense mechanism. Your brain is trying to protect you from the possibility of failure or discomfort. But there is a scientific way to manage this system. I'll show you how in the next few minutes. The neurobiology of action. To understand the neurobiology of procrastination, I need to talk about dopamine. And no, it's not just the pleasure molecule. Dopamine is directed motivation. It's the fuel that makes you go after a goal, even if you're hesitant. In your brain, there are two types of dopamine at work. Phasic dopamine, which comes in explosive bursts that make you act impulsively, like clicking on that random video when you should be working. And tonic dopamine, the constant flow that keeps you focused on a task from start to finish. It's the dopamine that makes you pick up a book and stay seated, maintaining your motivated attention. Procrastinators have a problem. Phasic dopamine hijacks tonic dopamine. It's like your wire of motivation is constantly being diverted to more interesting distractions, but you can control which circuit stays on. The first tool to do this is so simple it seems too obvious, but when applied, it changes your life. I want you to stop for a second and think about that task you've been avoiding. Now, answer honestly, what's the fear behind it? Fear of not being good enough? Fear of discovering you're not as smart as you thought? Name your fear and write it down physically on paper. When you write by hand, you activate a different part of the brain, taking the fear from an abstract dimension and turning it into something concrete you can face. Unnamed fears are like giant shadows that keep you in a chronic state of alert. When you name and externalize your fear, you're transferring its irrational, emotional processing to your rational prefrontal cortex. The action plan. Now, I'm going to teach you how to be afraid of the right thing. Most people are afraid of taking action. I'm going to teach you to be afraid of inaction. Close your eyes for a second and visualize this with me. 6 months from now, you haven't done anything about the thing you're avoiding today. How do you feel? What opportunities have you lost? What version of yourself did you let die by not taking action? This visualization isn't to torture you. It's to reconfigure your decision-making system. Your primitive brain needs to understand one truth. The biggest risk isn't trying and failing. It's not trying and living forever wondering what if. Once you become more afraid of inaction than action, something excellent happens. Procrastinating becomes more painful than doing. One of the most brilliant ways to organize your life is to do the following. One task at a time. Write down only one difficult thing you need to do today. Why? Because your brain can't release tonic dopamine for multiple goals simultaneously. Set an artificial deadline. If you think you need 4 hours, give yourself 3. This activates Parkinson's law. Your brain literally works more efficiently under controlled pressure. Remove distractions. Everything that can hijack your basic dopamine should be out of sight. Phone in another room, browser tabs closed, notifications turned off. Choose your reward. Choose your reward before you start. Something you genuinely want to do afterward, like watching that episode of your favorite show or scrolling through Instagram for 20 minutes. When you transform fun into a reward, the difficult task becomes more attractive because your brain associates it with something pleasurable. But there's a problem that 90% of people face. The hidden enemy of productivity. Perfectionism. Do you recognize these thoughts? I won't start now because I have an appointment in 2 hours. I need to be 100% inspired to do a good job. These are perfectionist thoughts disguised as logic. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only the moment you decide to start. You can put the 2-minute rule into practice. Instead of waiting for ideal conditions, commit to doing 2 minutes of the boring work, without pressure for quality or expectations of results. You're just going to do it. Why does it work? Because the biggest obstacle isn't doing it well, it's starting. And once you break that inertia, taking action becomes easier. Your brain can't use perfectionist excuses for something you've already decided is going to be imperfect. What makes you fight? And how Mitolyn can help. One last thing, and perhaps the most important of all. What will make you get out of bed and fight on the days you don't want to? Even when no one is watching, even when no one will applaud you, everyone has a motivation, that deep thing that makes you get out of bed on the days you don't want to. It could be not letting down the people you love, proving a doubter wrong, creating the life your parents never could, not dying and asking yourself, what if I had just tried? This motivation isn't about being positive. It's about finding something that's already inside you. For me, it's simple. I don't want to get to 60 years old regretting that I didn't try to be the best version of myself. What about you? When you connect your daily tasks to your real deep motivation, procrastination stops being an option. It becomes a betrayal of yourself. And what if I told you there's an ally to amplify that motivation, to ignite that internal fire? I want to introduce you to Mitolyn. It's not a regular stimulant that gives you a quick rush and a hard crash. Mitolyn is different. It acts at the source, at the powerhouse of your cells, the mitochondria. It stimulates your body's natural energy production, ATP, so you feel a drive that doesn't come from an artificial boost, but from within. Imagine having the mental clarity to focus effortlessly, the energy to start, and the vitality to finish, without that sluggish feeling. Mitolyn gives you a smooth, constant energy that helps burn fat, speeds up your metabolism, and gives you the drive you dream of to face any challenge. It's like it's whispering to your amygdala, it's okay, you have the energy for this. So, to summarize what we've discussed today, procrastination is not a weakness, and you can change it. With these small daily adjustments and the support of Mitolyn, you'll see significant changes in your daily life and in your behavior. My challenge to you is this: stop procrastinating. Go to the description of this video and see what I've left there especially for you. Get your natural dietary supplement Mitolyn, because I want to see you surprise everyone around you who doesn't believe in you. Start today by making your first decision for change. And if this video changed your perspective, share it with someone who also needs to hear this. We'll see you in the next video.